Alright, we should be live. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the SANS Holiday Hacking Challenge. For any YouTube overlords who happen to be watching this stream right now, this is all educational. I have authorization to do everything that you are seeing right now. This is set up by a nonprofit organization known as the SANS Institute, and this is a simulated computer system. This is not hacking content. This is for fun. So, with that disclaimer out of the way, I do have somebody here with me. Gemini Dark, are you there?
I am here.
Okay, sick. You should also check in the stream at some point and make sure that you're audible. I think I changed the settings properly.
Let's find out if I can turn up the volume.
But that being said, so I did from last time. I mean, to go back and recap what we did last time, we hacked into the keypad by using this code, figuring out that this was referring to page 2, word 6, letter 1. And when you went through all of these, you got to Santa. Now, if we looked up Santa in a dial code, we would find that it matched up nicely with the fingerprints that we see when scanning this with ultraviolet light. Opening that up got us access to a number of shredded pieces of paper. And these shredded pieces of paper I have in a zip file, and they allow us to hopefully put together the next stage of... actually, I think it's the manual for the next challenge in the game. How's the audio, Dark?
I think your audio's fine, but if I'm correct, mine is very quiet. I'm listening, it's a little delayed.
Alright. I'll turn it up. I don't want to, make this horrifically loud, because the music can get a little obnoxious. Most holiday hacking challenges, I actually mute the audio, because I'm like, I don't want to listen to this, but they do parodies of normal songs and make them, Christmas-themed. Anyway, we have the file. I have that pulled up somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it also, and here's the fun thing about this, you always want to go to the hints, right? Because the hints will often save you some effort. Because if we go to On the Cutting Edge and we click on heuristic edge detection.py, it will bring you to this GitHub repo, I assume by one of the employees, that will use basic default Python functions to get us to hopefully bind these various slices together and get the source document again. So we're going to run this. It looks like it's expecting a non-zipped folder. So we're going to unzip this, provide it the path of the images, and hopefully it will assemble them for us. So it's expecting a folder called slices. So let's go ahead and build this.
I wonder if they have to be in a pre-made order, or if it's just going to do it automatically.
So it's supposedly using heuristics, right? Because this calculate the sum of the squared differences between the right edge and the left edge of another slice. So it's iterating through all of them, figuring out what slice is most likely to continue the last thing that we saw. And if one slice logically follows another, it will assume that they are next to each other, that they're adjacent, if you will.
That's helpful.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and make a directory for this. I can separate this terminal. Here we go. So this is a terminal. I'm running Fedora Linux 41, I think? Or is 42 already out? I think it's 41. Regardless, I'm running the latest version of Fedora Linux, and we are going to be running this. So, heuristic edge detection, I'm going to have to save that. So let's just do this all via terminal. Okay, let's do sliced images. And then it's expecting the input folder slices. Now, let's grab that zip file, copy link address, and let's do wget. That'll save it. Unzip shreds.zip. Oh, it was already in a slices folder. How nice. So let's just do a move slices / star to here. Let's make sure that that was actually removed. Yep. And remove the old slices directory. And here we are. We can now get rid of shreds.zip, although not always the best practice to just delete something. But we can download it again if we need to. Now, let's grab this. And we should be able to run it. So let's open up. Let's go back one. Nano. What do we want to call it? Unshred.py. And I think that should do it. Let me just make sure that it's fine if this doesn't exist. Okay, so it's not actually expecting another folder. It's just going to put it in the current directory. Great. Do I have Python without opening up a conda environment? I do. Cool. Python unshred.py. Oh, and NumPy isn't installed. So I'm going to go ahead and activate a conda environment, which contains all of the different things that I've imported, so they're not installed on my base system. Now, let's try the same thing. And that'll take a second to run, but not too terribly long. Now let's list everything in reverse chronological order, which I guess we didn't have to do because there weren't that many. But assembled image.png should be it. Really? Nothing in bash? Fine. Fine, I will browse to that directory if you're gonna be cringe about it.
Why would it be easy?
Exactly. Ooh. It put it together incorrectly, but close enough. So I could go into code and modify this, or we could do a pro gamer move. Holiday hack, sliced images. Assembled image.png. This is the one thing that I regret about Linux, is that I wish it had paint.net. Because paint.net is like the greatest tool for image manipulation that anyone has ever created. Like, I understand Photoshop is cool and all, but paint.net, man, it's so good.
Another benefit is it doesn't spy on you like Photoshop.
True. Or submit your content for AI training.
Right?
Without your permission. Not that, I mean, we won't get into that discussion. Now let's image. Now layers. Flip horizontal. Here we go. Okay, so these are the settings that we needed in order to decode that hardware challenge. We're making way faster progress today than yesterday. Okay, hardware part 1. Voltage, transmit, receive, and ground, of course. We don't really know the voltage of the system quite yet, but we can figure it out. And I think this is going to be 1-to-1. I hope it's not one of those where we have to mix them up. But I do know that yesterday when we were playing with this, when we mixed up transmit and receive, it burned the chip, which was kind of funny. How's the music, by the way, Dark? Is it loud? Is it quiet? Is it good?
Let's find out.
Yeah, you do that.
It's the right volume.
Okay, awesome. Even compared to my own voice?
That's what I mean. It's quieter than your voice, and it's not too loud.
Awesome, thank you. One of the things that I got for Christmas was these like soda syrups, and because I have one of those like carbonation machines, and I'm trying the one that's like supposed to be like Coca-Cola, but it's just labeled cola because they're not authorized to call it Coca-Cola, and it's pretty good.
Oh, nice. Does it taste similar to Coca-Cola, or is it totally different?
It tastes pretty similar. Sorry, I'm just reading through this. Parity is even. Since this is on 5 by default, I'm going to assume that we have to switch it to 3. Anyway, but yeah, it tastes pretty similar. And the one complaint I have about a lot of sodas is that they're just too sweet. And like they don't make they make diet sodas, but they never make a version of soda that is just like less sweet than a normal one. Like not diet, just put less sugar in it. But this, like when you make it yourself, you can actually like set it to whatever level of sweetness you want, which I really like. And but the other day I found a root beer. It's like one of those brands of root beers. It's kind of like more of a niche thing, like a craft brewed whatever. And flow control RTS. Anyway, and so I got one of those, and they did it. It was literally just a less sweet root beer, and it was so good. And I just wish that more soda companies had the confidence to make something like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Oh, it's probably the wrong port. What port is it? I thought it was COM1. Maybe it's USB. It's taking care of Christmas. That's funny. That's really funny. So we have everything we need, right?
I think so. I don't see anything about the port on the paper.
Stop bits 1 bit, data 7 bits, parity even, flow control RTS, baud rate 115200. Yeah, I don't see anything about the port either. I guess we can just try it on all of the ports. Am I insane in thinking that this board looks AI generated?
No, you're not.
Okay.
And the cord also looks like photoshopped.
Oh, yeah, it totally does. It totally does. I'm sure that was just like a picture of a USB. Well, that's unusual, isn't it? We probably need to change the pin layout. Hold on, this is GRTV. Oh! Ground, receive, transmit, and voltage.
Oh. Okay.
So I wonder if this is transmitting on this cable, we need to be receiving it on ours, right?
That would make sense.
Let's try it. But I think that this is COM. It's not COM. Okay. But the fact that something's happening is probably a good sign.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Okay, maybe it's USB. Although we could be pumping too much voltage in it. Let's try it again at 3 volts.
Merp.
Hey, look at that! Look at that! Serial connection couldn't be established. What about COM2?
Merp.
Nope. But at least we're getting, like, actual output now.
Merp. Right.
USB.
Wonder what the next step will be then.
We got it! Let's go! We're killing it today. So let's talk to Jewel
Fantastic.
logins.
You managed to connect to the UART interface. Great work with those tricky wires. I couldn't figure it out myself.
I don't like the AI voices, unfortunately.
Rumor has it you might be able to bypass the hardware altogether for the gold medal. Why not see if you can find that shortcut? Next, we need to access the terminal and modify the access database. We're looking to grant
You
access
want the
to
gold
card
medal?
number
Is it worth
42.
it?
If we can. What did it say we need to do for the gold medal?
Bypass the hardware completely.
Interesting. Well, let's just go with the objective they're giving us first, that we need to access the terminal and modify the access database. Grant access to card 42.
Start by using the SLH application. That's the key to getting into the access database.
I've never used
Problem
SLH.
is, the
This will be fun.
SLH tool is password protected, so we need to find it first.
Oh man, this Coke
Search
is
the
good.
terminal
This is
thoroughly.
better than real
Passwords
Coke.
sometimes get left out in the
Is it?
open.
Yeah, although I'm not a big Coke fan, so you know how it is.
Right.
Search the
Once
terminal
you've found it,
thoroughly.
modify the entry for card
Okay.
number 42
So
to
it sounds
grant
like
access.
I'm supposed to
Sounds
look throughout the
simple,
file
right?
system,
Let's get to it.
find the password for the binary, and then run it to grant entry to card 42. That's straightforward enough. Hold on, I'm gonna do a quick sound check just to make sure that it sounds that it's what I'm hoping for in terms of audio. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Okay. U-boot console or startup system. U-boot console. What do we have access to here? Default enchanted environment. That's great. So we are connected to an Ethernet network. 200 MB of memory. Man, we're running hot. Magicfirmware.bin. I wonder if that contains the password somewhere. What do we have in terms of help? MTNV. So we have a few addresses that we could use. We have our current IP address. Let's see. I don't know how this environment typically works. I'm not typically operating on this level. But we will find out together.
Would launching the default give you more information?
It might, so I definitely want to try that. Oh, it gives us access to ping? That's fascinating. Let's try it. Exit. Oh, well, we'll have to close and reopen, which is fine. One, I feel like, is going to just lock us out, but we can try it. No! Oh, nope! It just gives us access to a terminal. Okay, sure. So here is the tool that they want us to use. We need to find the password somewhere. I would like to know where magicfirmware.bin is. Ah, there's our database. Actually, let's check our current working directory. So we are the SLH user, at least in their home directory. Let's check the root directory. There's entrypoint.sh. That's fascinating. So entrypoint.sh does not give write access to everybody, unfortunately. If it did, and if this thing persisted access, what I would do here is modify that to run another command as root, and that would effectively allow me to escalate my privileges, but it doesn't look like we have access to that. Root check.
We do have access to the... Yeah.
So permission denied in /root, but that doesn't mean that root/check hmac is not world readable, I think. Nope. We do not have permission, which is fine. I want to know about that binary file that it had before. Let's look at our environment variables real quick. Hey, there's my username. Look at that. Has a library path. Okay, nothing really of use here. This is like setting the terminal colors, which is nice, but who cares? API port 43. Are we running anything? What? lsoft-I. No. Let's do process. Okay, nothing. No net stat. Okay. Let's check bin. What was the bin SLH, right? Was the
I believe so.
So we need a passcode to make changes. I wonder if it has the passcode in the binary itself. I mean, it could just be Santa. Let's try that and see what happens. Our ID was 42. Then set access, full access. Invalid passcode, which is fine. So, do we have strings? We do have access to strings. Oh, I accidentally killed the shell. My bad! It doesn't want me to control C. Noted. Noted. But, so the strings command is going to parse through a given file looking for potentially valid strings of text. So let's do that on /bin/SLH. That's a lot of strings. Let's pipe that into a file. Strings.txt. I don't have nano. Okay. Let's just do less strings.txt. No less? More? Do I have more? Yes, I do. Okay. So these are all function names. That could be a password. But I have a lot of these, so maybe not. We have some error strings. I mean, it's possible that they stored the password somewhere.
Image data, if that might help.
I'm seeing accesses to, like, temp files. So there could be a password in a temp file somewhere. This is all like, binary data, nothing of use. You do this long enough, you can just stare at a stream of text and then pause when something interesting pops out.
Yeah, I was
like
trying
that.
to do that and failing, so I was surprised you could.
We'll say that I have lower latency. Interesting strings, but not like what we want. My favorite thing in like capture the flag games is when you do strings and it just like has a password sitting somewhere. I feel like this isn't going to be the solution for this one, but if it is, great. But after this, I'm going to do a quick search through the file system. In fact, if they wanted, because like the Holiday Hacking Challenge often has like, it's pretty beginner friendly or at least beginner accessible. So I feel like they wouldn't have us scroll through all of this text and hope that it's like somewhere in the middle if this is actually the intended solution. And we're only 30% of the way through the file. So let's check the options because I want to skip to the end of the file.
Right.
I also like how the less command, which is just like for file, like reading files, will let you run arbitrary commands. And so if a system allows you to run the less, or actually this is more, but if a system lets you run the more command as the root user, you can take over the entire system, which is great.
That sounds pretty cool, yeah.
Let's skip forward. 100. No? F? Oh, it only skips forward 1? But at least it's going up by percentages now. And we can chill here. Just let this go for a while. We'll call this a loading screen.
Yeah, it's 60% loaded already.
For me, it's like 90. Whoa, 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 there was stuff at the end. Hold up, hold up. How do we... Okay, do we have tail? We do have tail. Okay. How do we get, like, the last 1,000 lines in? Let's do the last 1,000 lines with more. Oh, dumb more. This is why I like less better, because I can scroll back up. Why isn't it letting me scroll back up? It was before. Okay, OpenSSL, that's fine. Char sets, cryptography functions. So it might actually have the password like encrypted. I bet you if you really wanted to, you could reverse engineer this binary. But guess who doesn't want to do that? Me. Especially when it's not the intended solution. It would take like actually forever. Like you need to pay me if you want me to do that. Yeah, okay, so let's search the file system. Find /tac name. And let's look for anything with pass in it, so password stuff. Then we'll tell all errors to go to the null realm. There are a couple. Let's do the same thing, but now pipe it into more. There are two interesting things there. Password.conf and getpass.py. Let's check out password.conf. It's a temp file. Let's go ahead and copy Python's getpass just in case we need it. Password is in progress and we lose power. Stale log files. Okay, so that's probably just default stuff. This is probably not what we're looking for. Let's do the same thing, but let's pipe it into more. Utility to get the password and or current username. No, I don't think this was created for this challenge. Entrypoint.sh does not have the set UID bit, so it doesn't mean that we can, like, run it to become the root user, unfortunately. Let's check our badge real quick. We might have to do something in the boot config to become root, which would be fine. Let's see.
It would make sense since it's giving you both.
Hey! It's kind of what I was thinking, yeah. Let's look at this before we waste time. In the signature. Oh! Oh, we didn't even check the history. Silly us. And this is giving us a link to CyberChef, which is awesome. I love CyberChef. CyberChef is great. I recommend it. You can basically combine different operations and they can like get you an output depending on like what they would do. So anyway, let's go back into the environment. Let's boot normally, and let's check the history. Oh, well, that was pretty easy. Not what I wanted. I always have to like right click to copy in these. We want ID 42. I'll erase some of this junk data at the beginning. Candy Cane Crunch 77, excellent. Alright, access granted. Now there's another part to it, I think.
You managed to connect to the UART interface. Great work with those tricky wires. Rumor has it you might be able to bypass the hardware altogether for the gold medal. Why not see if you can find that shortcut? Wow, you're amazing at this. Clever move finding the password in the command history.
We should have checked that like from the get-go. That's on us.
Yeah, it is.
There's a tougher route if you're up for the challenge to earn the gold medal. It involves directly modifying the database and generating your own HMAC signature.
So that's what this is for. So basically, we could go into the database, modify the entry for user 42 directly, and then if we have the key, we could supply that to this to get basically a signed hash, more or less, that validates that the entry that's in the database is the legit one. But I don't want to do that right now.
I know you can do it. Come back.
Gonna do hard mode later where you get all the gold medals?
Maybe, we'll see. I
couldn't have done it without you.
It would be an interesting challenge. That's the kind of challenge that would be a lot of fun to work on. But I don't know if I wanted to do nose to the grindstone for the purposes of this stream.
That's fair.
There's like a lot of notifications on Discord. Why? Alright. The question is, what is the next challenge that's available to us? Do we unlock Act 2? We do unlock Act 2. Look at that. A gruesome snowball fight. Take over present delivery. Let's do it.
Yeah.
A PowerShell challenge. That's gonna stink.
Hi there, Tech Savior. Eve Snowshoes. I've been busy creating and testing a modern solution to...
Ooh, an Android app. Oh, I know how to test Android.
Here's my tiny reindeer-sized problem. I made a debug version and a release version of the app.
So debugging symbols is on for one of these. I mean, I could throw this on an actual phone if I wanted to. Let's see. So let's save the Android app. Santa Swipe. Okay, sweet.
I accidentally left out a child's name on each version, but for the life of me, I can't remember who. Could you start with the debug version first, figure out which child's name isn't shown in the list within the app, then we can move on to release? I'd be eternally grateful.
So this I'll probably have to do off stream, because all my Android hacking stuff is on my work laptop, not on my desktop. I could install it, but if I want to be in pain, which I don't, I'll probably just
right.
I'll probably just avoid that. But who knows? We'll see. Oh, look at the elf propaganda.
I'm Dusty Gift Wrap, back from the battlefield. I'm mostly here for the snowball fight.
So there is.
Okay, what's the challenge here?
But I also don't want Santa angry at us. Alabaster Snowball seems to be having to take down Wombly the usual way with a friend, or try a different strategy by tweaking
client-side values.
Alternatively, we've got a secret weapon, a giant snowball.
We could just blow them up if we wanted to.
Adjust the right elements and victory for
Really?
Alabaster can be
Giant
secured.
snowball?
Raring
Yeah.
field? Terrific. Here's a real brain tickler.
That sounds
Navigator
like the
of
fun
chaos
way to
or
do it.
Maestro of subtlety. Which will you be? Either way, remember confidence, wit. We've got what it takes.
Alright, so we need to bring victory to Alabaster. I mean, I don't really want to play with other people.
Right.
Alright, defeating Wombly.
Have to?
No, it looks like I can create a private room. Cool. You must defeat Wombly by hitting him with snowballs more times than Alabaster is hit before the time runs out. Okay, so we can throw these. Got it. Makes sense. It's like a tank game, kind of.
Yeah. Except there's probably a way to cheat it.
Yeah. So let's take a look at our sources. Pause script execution. That's going to freeze this web page. Now let's just see what elements are available to our environment. This. Nothing too wild. Snowball game is available to us. But it's a constructor, so it's going to create a game. There is game, the game variable. Phaser.io, that is not the game that we're on, but whatever. Alright, let's check out the JavaScript sources. Oh, I guess, it's called Phaser Snowball Game. Neat. So this is what it initialized. So if we can find the initialization of this game, which I think is on here, like player move speed should be in game dot player move speed. Well, that might be in config. Something in here has player move speed. Let's do JSON dot stringify, which is a great name for a function. I love that. A circular structure. There's probably like an option to stringify to ignore those, but let's at least like look at the code a little bit. Because you know that game had config. But it doesn't look like this is defining a config variable anywhere. So it could be in the parent class, or we could be looking at the wrong class entirely. Oh, it does have a minified JS file. So this we shouldn't be looking at, but we still can. Let's see if game is defined in here. Oh, it's defined 500 times. Great. If I dot... Come to think of it, wasn't this a specific type of game? Because it extended game, snowball game. So let's...
Yeah, snowball game.
Yeah, let's go back to cheating. Ooh, I'm not seeing this initialized snowball game anywhere. Fascinating. Maybe it's pagescript.js? I'm not seeing this initialized snowball game anywhere either. Huh. That's unusual.
But does that mean it's a red herring, or that we're looking in the wrong spot?
I doubt it's a red herring. This would be a very specific thing to distract for. I was more or less just trying to use that as a shortcut. This only has one initialization, or one definition of snowball game. This doesn't initialize it at all. The WebSocket code doesn't either. This might have it though. Game equals null. Let's edit this as HTML. We should find Snowball Game in here somewhere. Game equals new phaser.game, and I assume, oh, here it is, scene is Snowball Game. Okay, so we found the definition. And what I'm trying to do here is find the code that would correspond to like my snowball's impact or damage or even the number of hits.
There was a fire rate earlier.
Oh, was there?
Not in this file, but in the constructor. That was one of the options.
Oh, indeed. Let's see. Snowball lifetime. Throw speed and rate of fire.
Yeah.
And then there's the percentage shot power.
I didn't notice that earlier. Surely we can just find a way to set that to 100 and win in one shot.
Yeah. What we need to find is this object, which is the Snowball Game in the phaser scene. So this initializes the Snowball Game. There's HTML. Toward the bottom. Scene is Snowball Game. This is defined in config. Oops, that isn't what I wanted. Let's check console again. Game.config. Although this doesn't have any of those things.
Scene config?
Where?
Scene config, it's in the S's. So, yeah, down. Below physics, S comes after B. Does that give us any information?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Let's see. So we go to the constructor. That's where all of these variables are defined. It is a Snowball Game class. I mean, it seems like that should be it. The weird thing is just that I'm not seeing those variables initialized in this object. But let's check it out. Because like the scene config, it contains a class, but it doesn't contain an instance of that class, which is the weird thing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get the opportunity to monkey around with client-side variables too terribly often. snowball game extends phaser.scene. This is the snowball game class, which I think was defined in here. Like let's go down here, right? And we see scene is snowball game. So this is what we were looking at, is that the scene contains a list of classes, which is just the snowball game class.
Right. And it's creating it from the config below that.
Right. So phaser game though. Phaser, where's that being defined? It's probably not going to be in here, but I'm going to check just in case. Because phaser.game should be in here.
Phaser.game might be what snowball game was extending. I don't remember.
Snowball game
scene.
It's scene, yeah. So this is a scene. And then the game itself is phaser.min.js. So they don't want us, since this is minified, they don't want us to mess with this JavaScript.
Mm.
But the scene, we certainly can. So we have...
We can't just cast a new variable to one of these, could we?
You mean like replace one of these with our own?
Yeah, but on prototyping stage.
Oh, by changing the object's prototype. So basically we could kind of do that, but the problem is that like the Chrome or Chromium DevTools doesn't like it for us to like refresh the page with modified functions. Like what I could do is potentially set a breakpoint like way at the beginning, such that like as soon as the page loads, it hits a breakpoint, and then I go and modify those. But it doesn't like it when I modify sources. I don't know why. It should let me. It should let me like go in here and like hit like right click to edit and then change. Wait, why is it letting me change things? It didn't let me change things yesterday.
Does it have to do with something in the game said something about Firefox being used? So they might actually be using a workaround somehow.
Well, the thing is just that like, one, the Chromium was not letting me do this yesterday. I don't know why it's letting me do it now. But it's fine. I don't think. Sorry, I'm stretching. I don't think that they're wanting me to go into that level of depth. I just need to find the local variable, and you know what I'm gonna do? JavaScript get all local variables. I like this answer. I've seen this one before. I've used this before. Can you get all the local variables? The answer is no. Anyway, here's how you do it.
Well, yeah, that's always a good answer.
I want a parsing function. There's a really easy way to do it. I don't know where I have it. Like, I feel like I've saved it somewhere. No, I totally have it saved, but it's not on this computer. So I'm not gonna like import someone else's parser. That's silly. Here, let's do this. Console. Now, literally just print everything in the window scope. Why did that go away? Copy. There we go. Really? Okay, sure.
There it is. Oh, no?
So here's everything that we care about. This is everything that's accessible to JavaScript currently. No, I will not be clicking on the cookie store for anybody hoping to steal my account. So most of these are just like built-in functions into the browser. Those I don't really care about. Window is interesting. Self is kind of interesting. Is that an iframe? No, it's not. No, it's not. So these are all kind of useless to us. Only these lower ones become interesting. Phaser object.
That sounds helpful.
It does.
Beans.
Scene is an initialization function.
Okay.
Solana object? What does this have to... Oh, this is like Brave injecting this. Okay, noted.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what does this have to do with like cryptocurrency? It doesn't. Main scene.
One potential option would also be the player starting area.
Start it
Just
like right
set
next to him.
yourself to exactly.
That would be funny. Is this it?
There was stuff related to the guy you're trying to hit up there. Alabaster stuff.
Was there?
Oh,
Okay.
no, you just minimized it. I'm sorry.
Oh,
But
okay.
there's more there, yeah.
Let's look. Throw speed. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I found it. I found it. I found it.
Oh, good.
So this is definitely the scene we were looking for. So main scene. That is totally it. Nice. Now, if we resume execution, I wonder what will happen. I think we crashed it. Oh no, it caught us. It caught us.
It did?
Yeah, look at this. Cheating hacker detected at the bottom.
Okay. Interesting.
Ooh. Let's see if we can find what defines that.
Yeah.
So nothing in here. Something is going to have cheating hacker. Nothing in the minified, which is good. Nothing in this one. What about elements? Cheating. Nothing. How's nothing giving us cheating hacker? Is it a network? No, there have been no network requests. Alright, well, what's catching us? This is case insensitive, so...
Game.html? Is that what I'm seeing on the side there?
Over here on the left?
Yeah.
Looks like it's empty. That's weird. But the elements should be basically the current page. Oh, maybe I was changing the scope. No? Not finding hack either. Strange.
Yeah, a bit. should at least be able to find that string somewhere that they're popping up on the bottom.
Yeah, well, what if I change this to 9999? Will that still catch us? That does not seem to be too upsetting. What if we change the throw rate? Throw rate of fire equals 9999. It's not really changing. Let's try refreshing. It's not letting me. Oh, these aren't that big of a deal. That's fine.
Okay. Well, if it's not letting you change that stuff, then an easy way to check if it works is to move your starting position to next to them. Then we'll know right away if it's working or not.
The main issue is that it won't be persistent, right? Like, if I refresh the page, that won't stick around. I'd have to, like, auto-pause, which maybe I can do? But we would have to, like, stop it at a very particular point to avoid our changes being overwritten, which is my main concern. Let's look at the variables again in main scene. Because maybe there's another one that regulates how quickly we can fire. Because right now, I'm just not able to fire at all. Like, it's not letting me fire anything.
Maybe lower is better.
That's exactly what I was thinking. What if I change it to 9? Yep, that was it.
Alright. I was thinking that a while ago, but I didn't think to say it, so... Oh well.
And let's change the
Can you
terrain.
just tunnel through it?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's change the terrain heal delay to, like, infinity. I don't know why it's still healing. Oh, maybe lower is better?
Don't know.
Wait, are we healing it? By hitting it? We totally are.
No.
Yeah, it's getting rebuilt as we hit it.
Interesting.
That's weird. But now I brought it back out. So there's got to be like some number where it's like calculating if it's higher or lower than this. Do something. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's just hit Wombly. You're done.
Can you walk through it?
That's a good point, can't I?
You hit him once.
We're hitting these guys.
That's the one way to do it. To change your exposition.
Yeah. It's not saying that we're hitting them at all, though.
Right. Oh, because the hit value was at 0. Remember I mentioned we should set it to 100 earlier?
Oh, let's try that.
Hit health or something like that? I think it was under player.
Well, there's also one for Wombly himself. Like, what's under Wombly?
That I couldn't tell you.
Let's set active to false, see what happens.
Okay. Well, the guy you're trying to hit is Alabaster, not Wombly. Just in case.
No, but we're on Alabaster's side.
Oh, okay. I misread then earlier.
So nothing's happening when we set Wombly to false. What if we change his height? Equals like 9. So nothing's happening. These might be just like variables that were initialized or something.
Right.
Nothing's changing. There's a say something. Let's try that. Let's see what happens.
Nice,
I want to see if
So we We haven't broken it completely then.
Yeah, it's still kind of working. Let's see. Hitbox. Dot height. So this does correspond to Wombly. Let's change the width to... Now, no matter where we hit, and should kind of hit Wombly, but we're not getting any hits. Why?
I think it's because our value is set to 0 still.
What was the value?
I think it was under players. It was like hit health or something like that. Health on hit, something.
We could also be firing too fast, so...
That's also possible.
Not throw. Throw speed. Let's try reducing that.
Did it work? I'm behind a little.
No, it's not. They're just falling to the floor, which is funny.
Oh, okay, that's what the speed does then, is its velocity.
Right. Let's look at some of these other things. Because the Alabaster is in the main scene. I think Wombly is too. Oh, that's how we were accessing Wombly. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's player 1. I have a hitbox apparently. Why is he not throwing snowballs at us?
That's something I've been wondering too. Why is everyone but you frozen, basically? And the targets, obviously.
Oh, does it want another player in the game or something?
Presumably. It did say you need another player to play, but I don't know. Oh, maybe you can cheat your way through that, make a player 2 show up.
Oh, look at this, look at this. I was gonna do that, but look at this, single player false.
Oh, okay, that works.
So now let's
Can't believe we
change
missed that.
some of these values. Throw speed. Let's not trigger the cheater thing. Set as hitbox height, hitbox width. Now hopefully his hitbox is just so large, everything hits him.
Right. They can't have that be reversed, could they?
Oh, the width and height? I doubt it.
Yeah.
That would be kind of arduous. But I also want to change the terrain heal delay. And then we need to change our throw rate to low.
Right. I'm imagining rate is actually meant to be delay the way speed is meant to be velocity.
I think you're right.
Oh no, now they're all fighting.
Yeah.
Cool. Now you just have to tunnel your way through again.
Exactly. Oh, it's not letting me move. Why is it not letting me move?
You were
There we
stuck
go.
on something, I think. Oh, you got hit by a snowball.
Oh, okay. I like how beating the game, like, legitimately is a valid solution to this.
Yeah, but you have to cheat it into first player, single player first, though.
Yeah, you could just play with someone else, though.
That's true. I just wail on him, I guess.
Yep. There's gotta be a hits variable somewhere,
Probably.
but
You
it would probably be...
his laptop.
Yeah, good idea. There's only a minute left, so it's honestly just faster to play this legitimately. My hand is tired. Oh no, stop that.
Are you not just holding down the throw button?
Nope, it won't let me.
Oh.
I have to click for
Oh.
every single one. Alabaster, just don't get hit. Stop getting hit.
Well, there's a delay when he's frozen after getting hit, so you're fine.
Yeah. Still, it is unreasonable how many hits Alabaster has taken throughout this game, when I am literally right next to Wombly.
I wonder why the hitbox didn't seem to change. He doesn't seem to have a higher hitbox like we wanted.
You're right. That's a good point. I don't know why. It could have something to do with us, like, messing with the physics. That could have just broken something. It's like, I'm not even I'm firing at random angles. And it could just be that the angle is... I think it's just the angle is so sensitive to changes because of the speed.
Surely it's not also incorrect and means his thrown thing's hitbox. Is he throwing anything even?
I don't know. But we beat Wombly.
Mm-hmm.
Actually posted win results for this ID. So I assume that means that the main game will acknowledge that we beat Wombly. Let's find out.
Fantastic work.
Yes. Okay.
Your
Sick.
hacker
That
skills
counted.
lead
We're
Alabaster
good.
forces to victory.
That was fun.
That was some
I love...
impressive strategy.
Yeah.
I don't get to modify local variables very often, so getting to mess around with that is always pretty fun. Because usually, the stuff that I'm doing, right, I'm focusing on the data that's being sent to the server. Like, if we go back to Snowball Fight, and I, like, let's say, like, I refresh this. We go to Network. This area is where I do most of my work. The data that my browser is sending to their server. So getting to mess with stuff within the browser is pretty fun. Although I'm usually not doing it from within this interface either. I have a dedicated proxy tool that we use. Burp Suite for
Christmas
the
is
win.
on the line. For a mischievous edge up, dive into the game's
Not
code.
sponsored.
A few client-side tweaks to speed,
If
movement, or power might
Portswigger
shift the
wants to
balance.
sponsor my
Just help
channel,
us
I will,
find
like, in a
secret
heartbeat
weapons
accept
in
that.
place.
That would be amazing. Just give me a free license to burp forever, and I would accept that. Power. You can change the power. Interesting. I'm sure there was something on, like, the amount of damage each hit does, or something like that.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's
With
what I kept
Wombly's
trying to
forces
mention.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no, and I was
Use
kind of
your
looking.
hacker
I just didn't
skills to
see
lead
one.
Alabaster's forces to
Yeah,
victory.
that's fine.
Okay, so I think that should be one of those objectives fulfilled. They need to fix scrolling in this. Snowball Showdown, that's done. I don't know what gold is supposed to be. More snowballs than he does us. I don't know what the gold challenge is for that, but whatever.
Do we think Gold is doing it without cheating?
You think the gold is what?
Doing it without cheating?
I mean, maybe. That would be kind of funny. But they would have to have detected that we cheated.
Which we know they can do, because they did once.
Yeah, they did once.
Oh.
But who knows? Alright, mobile analysis. I don't want to do this one right now. And I am so glad that I have a mobile testing rig. Like, if you're just digging into this, having never done mobile testing before, it's not easy to get into. The tools are, like, a little bit finicky. So, props to anybody who does this who's never touched an Android app, because that's rough. Drone stuff. That's interesting. Then PowerShell. That's going to be a pain. PowerShell is like, you know that terminal? I mean, I know you know what PowerShell is, but you know the terminal that we were interacting with a second ago for the hardware challenge?
Mm-hmm.
Like, PowerShell it was created by Microsoft to be a competitor to the interface we were using, which is called Bash. Also, speaking of Bash, this is Bash. So, talking about Bash, it's great. Bash is amazing. It works, like, amazingly. PowerShell is disgusting. It's so bad.
Yeah, well, it's Windows. What did you expect?
Yep. Oh no. Okay, so SANS every year has log analysis questions and like defense style questions. I don't do, like, I'm not on the defense side. I do threat emulation, which is like doing offensive activities in an authorized manner to test defenses. So when they ask me to dig into logs, I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, sure, figure it out. KQL. Why do I know what KQL is?
Well,
Something.
the good news is it's telling you to learn how to do it, so you should be fine.
Yeah, sometimes they give us, like, decent hints. KQL. Oh, wait. Why do I know this? It's either the last event I had to do KQL, or I tested somebody who was using KQL. I don't remember which one it is. Interesting. So 2 sections for silver, 4 sections for gold. I have done a couple of the log analysis questions in the past that were actually like really fun. One you had to like find IP addresses that were responsible for various cyber attacks. Those were cool. Those were very cool. How long have we been going? A little over an hour.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a break for now. Maybe I'll show back up tonight. But thanks for joining me. This has been fun.
Yeah, thank you for letting me join.
Absolutely. Alright, I will catch you all on the next stream.